Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors in Winston-Chester. Glad you're here this Friday morning. Got a great show lined up. We're giving away all kind of seafood. We got a good fishing report, some good pictures and all. So let's get started with our weather, brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. It sounds like a Chamber of Commerce report, but here it is, folks. High of 72, low of 49. Now, is that not perfect? Has it not been just a glorious week in the whole Panhandle? It's just been awesome. Water temperature is 64 degrees. It's sort of hanging in there. I'm going to give you an interesting report from the pier in a little bit, but let's go ahead and look at our river readings. Apalachicola at Bluntstown, it's reading a 10.3, and it's leveling off a little bit. It's leveled off yesterday. It's going to level tomorrow, then it's going to start dropping, okay? It's going to be a pretty steady drop. But at Choctaw Caravelle, now it's leveled on off. It's reading a 9.1. Looks like it's going to stay that way for 3 or 4 or 5 days. We don't have any rain coming in the forecast. I don't know if you watched the groundhog yesterday. I got tickled. I think the groundhog was a little scared and jumped out. He was growling at him and then ran back in. So that's a hoot to watch that stuff. So anyway, they say we're going to have 6 more weeks of cold weather. I chuckled when I saw that because we've only had like 4 days of cold weather. I don't know how we're going to have 6 more weeks of it, but that's just one of the little American tradition everybody gets a kick out of. So hope you got to see that. Tide chart brought to us by, now our river readings brought to us by Sandhill Seafood. Get a chance to get some seafood from them this weekend. It'd be awesome. Tide chart, Kent Forest Lawn, a low of 11.19. and a high at 252. Today is February the 2nd. I'm sorry, February the 3rd, and it is neat tides. But now next week, look at the tides for next week. Awesome strong tides next week. The marine forecast will be coming out of west about 8. Now let's go and do our game and fish time for today, brought to us by Blue Water. 5:07 to 7:07 this morning. Now that's going to be corresponding sort of for the weekend too, pretty close to that. So morning hunting is going to be excellent. And then 5:33 to 7:33 tonight, and that's late evening and all. I want to say a special good morning to Greg Gower, who watches the show every morning. Appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors, Greg, and a good morning to you. Now let's get lined up for our giveaway. We've got 2 more names to add. Let's see. We're going to add Bill Barfield. Bill sent a nice email, some good suggestions for the show in 2017, some good ideas. And Nate Schaefer from Panama City Beach. So they're in here. Enter any time of the year. The sooner you enter, the more chance you got to win. This is going to be from Sandhill Seafood. Sponsor our river readings. This is going to be for 2 winners of a half bag of oysters. All right, I got it stirred up really good. And the first winner is going to be, I can promise it's going to be a yellow card. And it's going to be Tammy Heppenstall from Lynn Haven. All right, Tammy, I know you don't want those oysters, so give me a call. I'll help you out on them. And the second winner, Treva Campbell from Panama City. 2 ladies that won it. All right, Treva Campbell and Tammy Heppenstall. All right, that's the 2 winners from Sandhill Seafood, half bag of oysters. All right, let's take our break and we'll come right back. All right, welcome back. Now, if you're watching this morning, you're going to see something very unique. It's going to happen right now. You're going to hear, I'm going to say something a man just does not like to say in it at all, is those 3 words, okay? Here they go. In fact, I'm going to write them down, okay? All right, here we go. I was wrong, okay? There you go. I gave y'all some wrong information, which I apologize for. That was hard to say, but like I said, the girl got a kick off this all week because she knew I was going to do it. I got an email from Jeff Carroll on the rattlesnakes. You know, we started talking about rattlesnakes a couple weeks ago, about them all being out and everything, and everybody got excited, and then those people shot them side of the road and everything, and there's an investigation going on. And I went ahead and blurted out that they're protected now. Well, I got to check on it. I checked with a couple of FWC officers. They had to call each other because here's a gray area here. You showed this already, right? I was wrong. That wasn't that hard to say. Gail thought I was going to struggle with that. I practiced last night 3 or 4 times. I was wrong. Okay, but what happened on it, the population of rattlesnakes have gone down dramatically. I've done some research on it, and it's been amazing. Right here, here's some research right here. and this is from 2014. Okay, just rattlesnake population shrinking in Alabama. Then the next one where it said New England's wild rattlesnake is on the brink of extinction. They're doing some serious studies. They've said they've gone down roughly. The studies I've read, they've gone down from, at one time they thought they were like 3 million. They're down to like 100,000 of eastern diamondback. So that's why they're sort of, and also they're protected like on St. Vincent Island. I used to, they've only had one gun hunt in the history of St. Vincent. It'd be the first one and last one they ever had. And I went on it because they had a lot of hogs on there. That would have been back in probably the early 80s maybe, or late 70s maybe. And you could bring a shotgun on there for the weekend. Folks, that was something else. And I wish I'd have had a camera because it was more, it was like that movie scene out of Jaws where they're all leaving. Those people came on there, they were shooting. You heard gunshots all morning. Saturday morning, I got scared. I just got out on the road. But what happened, going to find out, about half the gunshots, people shooting at rattlesnakes because, like Steve Shea, he said yesterday, the biggest snake he's ever seen was a 6.5 footer on St. Vincent Island. So they're protected on wildlife refuges, state parks and all. They're protected there. They're not protected here. They are they want them. They're trying to put them on the endangered list, and they probably will be if it keeps going like this. These rattlesnake roundups have gotten better about not killing. They released some of them now. So they're, so anyway, I was wrong giving that information, and I promise you, I talked to some other viewers too, got some good feedback on it. And like I said, if they're in my backyard and I got the kids running around or something, I would dispense of a big rattlesnake. But if I'm just walking in the woods or something, or see one across the highway, I'm not going to fool with it. But anyway, that's just the way I am. But I want to get all that information straight. So thank you, Jeff Carroll. Also, he asked about drones. The legal requirements on drones, and Jeff Peck does all our drone work. You see the beginning of the show, all that work, video, and he does it commercially. But now, just recreational, you just need a $5. You just register for a $5 permit, and then you got to put your little numbers on it, which is a good idea. But now, if you do it commercially, you got another whole gamut of things to run through. It's more, you got to study for a big test, take a test. Pay like $150 to take the test, so that's commercially if you're making money off of it. But just recreational, all you got to do is just register. Make sure you get it registered because it's got to be registered. Okay, so we got the rattlesnakes. Okay, now I also wanted to show you. I got some other pictures here. We talk about different things about. Let's look at this catfish right here. All right, this big old catfish here. A good friend of mine is Jeremy Pridgeon. Jeremy is taught electricity at Haney for a long time. Lives in Weewall. Lives right there on Lake Alice. You might recognize that lake right there. Well, this is an 18-pound flathead catfish he caught out of the lake. Now, normally you'd be excited, but he's not all that excited about it because, his wife Rhonda wrote us this email. Here's Jerry with a big flathead catfish taken out of Lake Alice. It is a shame that someone put these on a beautiful lake. This is why the brim and bass have disappeared. And I've heard that from other folks over there in Weewall, and that's what happens. What happened, the flathead is a predator, and there were all kind of bass. People would catch big old bass in Lake Alice and take a picture of them and let them go. And there were some nice bass there, and a lot of brim. Not anymore. Those flatheads, somebody let some flatheads in there, and they just boom, 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 like Pac-Man in a little pond like that. They can devastate it. In fact, people at a flathead catfish tournament, that's what they use for bait, live brim. So anyway, maybe they catch them all out of there and put some more brim and bass in there. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do our drawing now for this drawing. This is going to be for the real-time fisheries giveaway. Your choice will be the 2 pounds of fresh shrimp or the seafood platter they make. You've seen that on the commercial. And that winner is going to be, we've got to get a guy this time. It's going to be Charlene Sowell from West Bay. The girls are ruling this morning. Charlene. All right. Let's take our break and we'll be right back. Okay, folks, welcome back to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm glad to hear we're on the phone. I have Captain Kim from Sea Quarters Marina. We're talking about some fishing down there. Good morning, Captain Kim.
Good morning, Mr. Chester.
How's everything going down around the Carabel area?
Oh, we're doing super. The weather can't be better for February, and the warmouth and redbreast are hitting like mad.
That is good news. Now, y'all got a unique river system down there. Tell us about what rivers they're catching these fish out of.
Well, our Carabel River goes up into the Dew and the Crooked, and they're really one of the best fishing areas right now. I think O'Clockney's a little over its bank, and Appalachia's a little bit muddier. So we have been having real good luck with the warmouth and redbreast. We got plenty of worms and crickets, and they've been just hitting hard and heavy.
Well, that is really good, because I promise you this spring I'm going to get down there. I may not come back. I may just stay down there a week or so. When I know it's a beautiful area that's up in the Tate's Hill area.
Yes, sir, it is. It's gorgeous up here. We've been having, like I said, real good weather, and it's just absolutely lovely. Of course, hunting is over now, so they've been hot and heavy on the fishing, so that's good for us.
Right. How about the, anything real quick with the redfish or trout?
Yeah, redfish and trout are still here. We've got plenty of voodoo rattling shrimp. Those have been working real well, and they've been pretty much on the incoming tide for the most part.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. I know you're busy, I know you're working. I appreciate you taking time to tell us. You tell Thomas Lee I'm going to come down and go fish with him to tell him get ready.
Okay, I sure will. Thank you, Mr. Jesse. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thank you so much. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, great report out there. That's just some good stuff going on down there. Now, and I'm going to show you on Google Earth. When I say the Tate's Hill area, it really is really unique. Now, I want to show you, I think I've got a picture here. We'll talk about rattling bucks and everything, and no matter what happens, let me just go through the pictures. Maybe I'll run across this one. Let me see. All right. Here we go. We got, this is Johnny Conrad. Okay, Johnny Conrad, he did not rattle this one, but he did 270 shot it. It's a nice buck. Johnny Conrad. Okay, now let me get my pictures lined back up. All right, here we go. Remember I asked somebody the other day about Frankie McKeithen deer, where he killed it. There it says rather killed near Ebro, okay, this past Sunday. That's a nice buck. Here's another picture of it. That's a better picture there. That's Frankie McKeithen. On the back of those haulers come in handy right there, okay. That's what I had for lunch the other day in the woods. I come out my truck, my viennas and my water and crackers, okay, real healthy, but it was good. All right, this is one right here. Wilbur Miller, avid viewer. Wilbur's a retired state trooper, lives up in Lynn Haven, watches the show on a regular every day, and Wilbur rattled this buck up on his own little 40 acres up there in Calhoun County. He was telling about it. He's all excited. It's exciting to rattle one up like that. So good job, Wilbur Miller, on that one. That's the second nice buck he's taken off that little, I say little 40 acres, but it's a nice 40 acres ideal plot to have. Here's Matt Mears, sitting this in the Florida Panhandle Hunters, and he's been hunting this one all year, said, and finally got him. Good job, Matt Mears. And David Hawkins finally found a picture taker. I had to get home for the wife to take the picture. Good job, David Hawkins. Here's David right here. Good job. Nice buck. I mean, boy, I'm showing you buck pictures this week, so we got those set apart there. All right, now, also keep in mind that crappie tournament is over here in Lake Talcott. It's going to be Ingram's Marina, and let me show you a map how to get to Ingram's Marina. Some of y'all may want to go weigh in. It's going to be like at 3:30. I've never been to a crappie weigh-in. If I get a chance, I don't know, I may go over there. Anyway, look on the screen right here. The bottom part of the screen is Highway 20, going from left to right. That's going from east to west, like you're going to Tallahassee. And right there, they call it the Pat Thomas Parkway. We always called it the Lake Talcott Road. And you just go north there. You go against that go over that little creek right there, and then go in a little area called Wetumpka, and take a ride. And you follow that on around. There'll be signs up. There's several boat landings down there, and right there on that dot would be Ingram's Marina, and they're hosting this big national qualifier crappie tournament. So it's going to be a 2-day tournament. So just for your information, if you want to go see that. All right. Also got I wanted to mention before I get into I mentioned when I get into the fishing report. Let's go ahead and do our drawing and get set up for our fishing report. Okay, this is going to be Talking Dog Seafood. We had 3 straight girls winning, so this is going to be for $20 gift certificate. Y'all see we get them stirred up really good. Here the winner is going to be, how about Stacy Hartzog from Chipley? That's 4 girls in a row. All right. Now, the winner of the Big Red Snapper. Let's go and make this one a girl for sure. See, here's some stuck up ones right here. Stuck together, not stuck up. All right. And the winner of this one is going to be Candy McElreath from Panama City Beach. We have five girls to win this. I love these girls in the outdoors, doing the outdoor stuff. So here we go. All right, Candy McElreath, Panama City Beach. That's our winners. All right, now, we're going to get set up. We're going to take our last break, get set up for our famous Friday fishing forecast. We want to spend some good time on it. But I think before we get into that, I'm going to go ahead and talk about the importance of you getting outdoors. If you can't get outdoors on a week like this or a weekend like this, then I don't know if you're going to ever make it outdoors. But this, unless you're just super busy, it's so important. I think a lot of times, I was sitting in a tree stand the other morning and ground blind this week, and I was thinking I wanted to share this with you. I wish you could just capture in a bucket or something that feeling of being in nature, and nature has its own rhythm to it. And I don't care where you are. If you're out on the water, like in April or May, or going out there in your boat, if you get out there in the early morning, you got a flat, calm water. And then usually 9 or 10 o'clock, that wind's going to pick up a little bit, get a little chop in the water. But it's just nature, the rhythm of nature. And it's the same way in the woods. You're out there at daybreak, and you got this quietness, and you got the birds over here and the squirrels over here, and all this is going on. And if you just take a deep breath and just relax and enjoy it, and then about 10 o'clock, the wind's going to start picking. The wind's going to start moving those trees around a little bit, and that rhythm of nature, day after day. I know we have fronts that come in and stuff like that, but just on a normal basis, that's how it goes. That in itself is just, to me, year after year, is exhilarating. And I cannot put it in other words. I know a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about, and I've done all kind of hunting and fishing, but it's just always special those early mornings, those late afternoons, and I've gotten to where I enjoy walking in the middle of the day. I just, like I say, I just get out and walk. I mean, we take that for granted, just walking in the woods, and sometimes I may see something. If not, it's great exercise, but I don't do it for exercise. I just do it for just the love of being outdoors. So I want y'all to understand that. I know a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, give it a shot. Let's take a break, and we'll come back with our fishing forecast. Okay, welcome back, folks, to famous Friday fishing forecast brought to us by Tarpon Dog Seafood. Now we're taking a look. We'll talk to Captain Kim first. Let's take a look at where she was talking about. We're looking at Carabel right here. Here's Carabel, and okay, here's Seacoast Marina. You go up to Carabel River, and you have New River and Crooked Creek, and they all form the river. And this is what mentioned Tate's Hell. Just go up these rivers and see. Do you see very many condos up in that area? It's probably the last place. Look at there. Look at it goes way up in there. And Thomas Lee. I honestly want to come down and go fishing with you the next week or two. And also, I've always wanted to canoe down that New River. I don't know what people are doing now. It's wild. So anyway, enough about that. Good freshwater fishing. You heard what she just said. And it also said the trout and redfish are doing good down there. Now let me just jump up to the pier report while it's fresh on my mind. I want to get it in because last week I didn't get a chance to talk about it. Bill Angevine fishes on a regular basis. He sent word last night. He didn't have a good January month. He didn't fish as much. He caught some shark and a couple other fish. But I talked to Kerry at the pier also last night. And he said it's been a pretty decent January overall. In fact, he said they've had more people this past January than they've had. It set a record of people coming in and fishing. So that's a good sign. One thing, the weather was so good, other than that one bad week we had. And he said before that bad weather came in, they were catching, and even this past week, the guys were catching, and the girls catching sheep's head. And remember, those sheep's head are right there on the pilings, and you got to go. And let me tell you about the bait people are really going to now. It's sort of been a secret for a little while, but it's gotten out what we call ghost shrimp. And I've never fished much with ghost shrimp, but now everybody's going around these little tubes, and you see people, you'll suck them out of the ground, and we've talked about it before. I'm gonna have to get into that and find it, but it's really fascinating. That's great bait, the ghost shrimp. And also they're catching some flounder off the pier. This has been steady, but not, nothing to write home about. Also the whiting bite has been good off the pier, and you got to get back into shallow water when you fish off the pier. You can fish off the end, or the middle, or in the shallow end. The shallow end, in between the shallow end and the middle, will be the pompano. He said he caught, I think, two different people caught one pompano piece. So that's not the big deal. But the big deal they were catching over there, I keep looking. The big deal there was actually what they were catching off the end of the pier, which was a sheephead. And they did catch those Spanish when they came through St. Joe Bay. They caught some off the county pier and the city pier. I was tickled to see that. St. Vincent Island, I talk about this a lot, the oyster bars behind St. Vincent Island, red fishing in the pass here, and red fishing also at the bridge, sheephead fishing in East Point, sheephead fishing right there off the old bridge. Okay, I think we've talked about this a lot. Come in here, fishing right there up Sheephead. Okay, now let's move on over quickly West Bay. Well, let's move west into St. Joe Bay. I didn't get a report this week from St. Joe Bay. Mexico Beach has been good on the surf fishing for whiting, and also Cape San Blas, one of our viewers, she and her husband fished 2 hours and caught 15 whiting off the beach here at Cape San Blas this past week. So we talk about the whiting bite is just real steady in the wintertime. So glad to hear that. Crooked Island Sound had the same reports from whiting called the Crooked Island Sound. And Crooked Island Sound is about to kick off. So it's always a great place to fish. And as we get into Panama City and all, the big thing, and we talked about this last week at the jetties and all, the big thing is going to be sheephead. Now, the redfish and trout biting good, but the big fish for February is the sheephead. And we talked about that. Some of the captains have been talking to me also, and what they really, the limit is 10. And they're coming in here to spawn, and we've talked about that. They're coming here to spawn. Now, I personally, when I fish, I'm just going to keep the fish that we're going to eat. On occasion, we have some families that we know that from different avenues in our church and all, that we sometimes take a mess of fish by. It's something I learned from my dad years ago. There's a Wooder lady in town, and a couple of ladies that go to our church. He would always catch some extra brim and clean them and take it by him. By them, I always remember him doing that. So, but just catch the fish you're going to eat. The sheephead are very vulnerable this month because they're coming in here to spawn. Okay. And they get hit hard every day. And I was telling one of the captains, I about got to where I just don't fish much in February around these jetties. Years ago we did, but we don't do it much. It's just so crowded. You got captains coming, bring clients in here, then you got regular people like us, recreational guys coming in, the girls. It gets so crowded. But just catch your fish. You're going to keep limits 10, and it's going to be a situation where they're going to be strong, but remember they're spawning. Just keep the ones you're going to eat, okay? So keep that in mind too. I'm running out of time. I got to close it up. Y'all have a great weekend. Do something good for your fellow man. God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.